Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Gary from Down East Stained Glass. Just wanted to say hello to our new members. They actually, they're members because of gifting. I gifted the membership, 5 of them. I wanted to try to do that every time I go live now, and it's for 1 month. You get the access for the cloud, and you get to see all my patterns. You get to see the patterns. What can I say? Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do 5 every time I go live. I'm gonna keep the Facebook review live every 2 weeks or so. And the memberships will run out. You could renew them, or just grab patterns and go. I mean, that's fine. I you know me, I'm about sharing, and if you take advantage of that's great. Just don't share the files or online. Just don't share the link. I'm going to be changing the login for the cloud as soon as the broadcast is over. And I'll notify all members of that change in the community chat. You'll see in the chat area I put a link to the community where you could post images. It's like a Facebook. It's off the forum. Not forum. Well, it's on YouTube, but it's off the video format, and it's a community. It's nice because you can add pictures and links and do a lot there. So it's a lot more powerful than just the videos below the the comment area below the videos. So you should check it out. If you didn't, it's over here. And also another update. Well, my publisher made price adjustments for my new book, and I just wanted to make that announcement. And then the giveaway. So I'm going to give away the memberships. That was the big announcement. And as well, excuse me, I still have a little bit of congestion. This has been lagging on so it's horrible. What I was thinking of doing, let me know if I'm crazy. I have my phone sitting here, and I was thinking, well, I could ask people to call in, and my speaker on the phone's loud enough it'll come through the microphone. And I was just wondering if that would be something smart or dumb, or is it something I shouldn't even consider? Because I did it. I did a few studio interviews, one with my brother and one with Quirky Crafts and Dawn, and it was a lot of fun, and I want to do more. I just and they actually can go on and on. There's so much to talk about, but my point is I wanted to have people ask questions. You could ask in a chat. Hi Nancy, Maryland, another North Carolinian, a Tar Heel. Welcome. Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, you know what? People call and say, hey, what do you think? I could have a conversation and discuss things on the forum, or things stained glass related, as far as a question and answer thing. Because a lot of time, even in the chat, you look at the chat, someone asks a question that's kind of generic, and you're not getting the full question all the time, and it's hard to respond correctly. You kind of understand what I'm saying. But anyway, so I wanted to try that. Let me know what you think. Give me a like or don't. I'm thinking about it. Well, I could use the WhatsApp, whatever. Oh, my book came. My son just brought in my new book. Just came. Look at that. I was looking for you. You got the mail. Yeah, I got that WhatsApp app, and I could do it on Facebook. You could actually call people on Facebook, which I've done before. You know, you just call me, and it comes through the speakers on my computer. But I have to monitor it, and I have to wear headphones, and I say, that's kind of clunky for me. But if I hear it on my phone, and my phone's public, I mean, you go to my website, my phone number's there. So I'm not afraid of people calling me. If I don't recognize the phone number, or, somebody's spamming me, I block the call. But I don't have a problem with that. We can't see. You don't want to see me. No, I'm not camera shy. Just, it's like I want to talk about Sting. I don't want to make the videos about me. Actually, I watch this one guy. He's he's got a popular video. It's just a hooded stranger. You can't see his face. Just a hooded stranger. I was like, oh, I like that. I might be the hooded stranger. No, you never know. When I start doing the studio shots, you'll see more of me. And I do have videos of me in the past with my sons and stuff. So I just your lingo. You can only see my logo. Is that it? All right. Well, I promise. I'm gonna do. I don't want like a face thing, like I'm a news reporter. I'll do more mail. Probably bills. I'll do that. That studio thing. Where you're looking at my stuff. You're not looking at me. I find that just to be a little awkward for stained glass. It's not about me, though. I'm your host. I can probably work it out all right, but I want it to be more about hands-on. You're going to see a lot of, most, if not all, my videos are showing what I'm doing. That's the main makeup of my videos. And then the previews, the discussion on the Stained Glass Pattern Group. I like to bring up the group and scroll through it and answer in my words. That's kind of where I'm going with that. But just for the same reason, not what I'm saying. Never mind. Logo. Okay, you want my lingo? Okay, here I got my lingo. My New York tongue. I like pizza. Yeah, like that's why I wanted to do the call-ins, because then I could hear you. And when I did an interview with my brother, the passion in his voice, talking about his large domes he does and family history and this and that, what he's working on, and there's a lot of energy there. So that's why I wanted to do it. The last thing I wanted, my videos are boring enough. I know my lives are boring. I'm not the charismatic character I should be. I mean, I have a little bit of apprehension, stage fright. I could actually be a pretty pretty much a goofball, just be weird. But I try not to do that on video. But anyway, it's about the natural way people come across with their voice. That to me is valuable. All right. Came in late, so I'm a little. No, I just started, Donna. Thanks for coming in. I did start at 5 o'clock. I was kind of mentioning the new things I'm doing. I'm giving away memberships. I found out today. I was like, I don't have to rely on other people to gift them, and it costs you money. So I said, I'll just gift. Why can't I gift them? And I'm thinking, maybe I'll spend the money and I'll gift them. So I went and looked into it, and they said, oh, I could do 10 memberships a month. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'll do that. So I sent out 5 when I first found out. I didn't think they were gonna grab them right away, but people did come along and I grabbed them up 5. But I'm going to do 5 more, so just hold on. Give everybody a chance here to get some. If you want to, look at my membership area. You don't have to, retain your membership. You could you'll be a member. You could see the member perks, which if you are a member already, you know what I'm talking about. And let's see, who's that? Ramona. My southern accent is too thick to call. That's funny. Actually, I adore southern accents. That's why I live in North Carolina. And the further south you go, Louisiana, I got a good friend in Mississippi, and she's got the y'all thing going. I mean, I love talking to her, and that's Kathy. You guys know Kathy, the Barbershop Globes girl. I wanted to do a studio interview with her, and she was kind of on hold, and now that she has a studio up and running again, maybe I will. Oh, I don't know. They just randomly send them out to anybody that, or I don't know, or anybody, any number of my subscribers. I don't know how that works. I thought that it was put up on the chat and then people just grab them when they see it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I want other people to benefit off my patterns. So I mean, if you get it, you get it. I hope it's available for people here. All right. So I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna give away my 10, the limit for the month, and then on the next live, maybe wait a month or just give out 5 and see what happens, and then I'll give away more stuff. I just got my new stained glass patterns of love. Let's see. I guess this is from my publisher. Yes. Actually, I'm going to open it up right now. I don't have a camera to see me do it, but you can trust me. I'm going to give this book away. I'm going to sign it. This is the first edition of my Stained Glass Patterns of Love. And it's a corny name, but it's Valentine stuff. Oh, there we go. And look at that. It's got the coil bound. Very nice color. It's almost like a dusty magenta. I'm going to call it that. And interior's got all color. Well, the patterns are black and white, but the little previews are. I just thumbed through it really quick. I know it's in it already, so I don't have to read. But yeah, it looks nice. Well made. I'm gonna sign that one. That's the first actual. It's not. It's the first printing. So that's it. And then I received it. It'll come with that documentation. So it's actually the first official printing and the copy I got. I didn't do a pre-publish proofing because I was confident that it was going to come out really nice. But anyway, that's going to be given away amongst other things. All right. I'm just going to go quick on the forum. I'm just going to kind of do what I used to do. I go to the Stained Glass Patterns. A lot of people here are members of my my Facebook page group. I'm gonna head over there and just refresh it to get to the recent posts. Let's just see what comes up. And Stained Glass Patterns. Here we go. Watch my computer crash now, right? All right. These are going to be sorted by the newest posts. And let me make sure we can see it. Yep, we're looking good. Alright, so I'm going to run through a handful of these just to talk about it. I like to, if I was on the receiving end, I'd like to hear what people think about it. I kind of have my thumb on the pulse of stained glass, so I could give a really good perspective and a clear perspective on what I see and the questions asked and all that. So here we go. Kay Glass, and she's been around the block. I've seen a lot of her stained glass, and she's today listed things. Oh, she did it 2 days ago. Where were you? Come on. She said, "Whoops, I forgot to post." She's got the winter fairy on a tree stump. Looks like very nice. Well done. Beautiful pattern. I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of success with it. Looks great. Yeah, it's K Glass Creations. I could click on the pattern to zoom in, or I could just go ahead and, you guys, you go there, you'll see it as well. But yeah, she's done quite a bit of pattern work, and I admire her style. She has that overlook, the overlay look that I go after as well. Like with the root going past and the foot going past, and so it gives a lot of three-dimensional effect. So good job, K Glass. All right, let's move on. Ain't gonna lie, I was waiting for that one. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be popular, and it doesn't have to be for winter. It could be for spring, right? Fall, summer. Okay, and then we got Marie. Excuse me. Uh, Nice one done. Soldering is getting better. Well, I really can't see the soldering, but it looks good. Very cute. It's different. It's tulips can be stiff looking, but yours is really nice. It's natural. It's got a bend to it. Uh, Good job. The random lines of the tulip itself. It's very appealing. Very nice. Thanks. I said no camera. I'm not. I was thinking. I was like, oh, nobody wants to see me. Yeah, I'll take pictures. Still shot. I'll be wearing my redneck cap. Unshaven. Droopy eyes. My teeth are falling out. Nobody wants to see me. Maybe I should do it just for goofing around. Um, yeah, when I do more hands-on stuff in the studio, you'll see plenty of what's going on, and it's not about me. Again, it's my hands, what I'm doing. On the bench top. Years ago, this is not a new thought for me. Years ago, before when I first started YouTubing, and before I YouTube back in 07, 09, I think it was 09, and I was like, man, I just want to put a webcam, hanging above my bench and just show my bench top, and just leave it on, leave it 24/7. The people can come, whenever they want to see what's going on. And back then, that's basically the extent of webcams. It was just you turn it on and you watch what's going on. And I was thinking about doing that. I never got around to it. Oh, Pamela, yeah, I saw this post earlier. Well, not long, maybe 20 minutes ago, and she just got the book today. And I was like, yeah, I didn't get my book. Where's my book? Well, sure enough, it came today too. And yeah, it looks great. It's a good deal. 60-something patterns in it. It's coil bound. I forget. My publisher made a few changes. It was really close in price, but they kind of custom the pricing, because the world market, Australia and Great Britain, and Canada. Canada is probably the most expensive. I don't know why. But I know the publisher, I believe, Etsy's in Ireland. I think my publisher's in the United States, but they sell worldwide. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad you like it, Pamela. I like it too. I'm going to look at it a little better. That means my book's on the way. Yeah, I hope my book comes. And here it is. I got it. All right. Now, oh, Susan's asking for a pickleball pattern. I did one a couple months ago. I posted it to the forum. So if you search the forum, you probably find it. I just whipped up together something. It was like a paddle and a ball. And I don't know. It should be in the Facebook group somewhere. Easy enough to find. I didn't answer her here, but if you're on the live stream, you could check it out. Or anybody else. Pickleball. Is that a pickleball? Yeah, pickleball is on the old people do, right? With the big plastic ball. Old people. I'm going to be 66. I'm not going to play tennis like I used to. I don't even know if I could play tennis anymore. I could try. Hey, I'll try pickleball. Oh, and there's me. I posted about the giveaways. I sent 5, and I say, wow, they kind of went fast. So maybe it's just an open thing for people to get a notification, and then they grab it. So I don't know how that works. We'll see. We'll see. But I just want people to have my patterns. I know it's the money, you sell your patterns on Etsy and this and that. I only charge $3 a pattern anyway. Very cheap. My whole goal is I want everybody to have my patterns. Make stuff. I want to see the beautiful glass you do with my patterns. And then I post, look at me, I'm spamming the form. Should I allow calls to the host? And I'm thinking about it. I really am. It's the perspective on hearing somebody's voice, the tone of their voice. As long as you don't call in and say, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, like the old radio days, people call in, the Bob Grant, get off my phone, you jerk, stuff like that. That's my biggest fear. I can hit the mute button, I could end the call, but it might be too late. So we'll see. I don't have a moderator. So, well, I do. I have Nancy. She's my moderator, but I don't have somebody sitting here with their thumb on the button in case somebody calls me. But honestly, I trust the stained glass community. No one's going to be stupid about it. So, anyway, look at Dave Lore with his cat. This is the they call it the mid-century design, the 50s and 60s. At the the Rastro and the Jetsons and all that stuff. Very retro appeal to it, and a lot of folks, especially younger folks today, they're starting to relearn how appealing that look is. And, us older folks too, we like it. But, yeah, it's definitely, I believe it's called mid-century, the style. And I could be wrong, but it's like Art Deco was the 20s and 30s, and then you had the mid-century was the orange carpeting and, green rugs and green furniture and almond appliances. And then the Jetsons, that retro design look. Which I found this to be a really nice piece done by Dave. Excuse me, I'm scrolling too fast. Very nice, well done. Yeah, what is that, a martini? Yeah. And I see, you got quick clean over there. That's why it's so shiny. I love the colors. I'm reading. Pamela has it. She's going to do it in fused glass. That sounds good. I'd like to see what you do. And Yeah, if anybody wants to tell me, like right now it's 5:25, you say, Gary, give away the memberships by 5:30. I'll do it. Just give me a time and I'll do it. And that goes for anybody who's listening right now. I mean, I'll honor that. I don't want you to sit around and get bored with what I'm doing. I, I typically just go over the forum, discuss, latest things, just to kind of keep up with the times of what's going on. And here's a good example: Bones and Bevels. She just started a pattern club with she does, and I checked it out because I used to, believe it or not, when I first started doing patterns in the what was the mid to late 80s, I was doing custom stained glass uh, design work, and I advertised in a stained glass magazine, not stained glass news, a stained glass magazine, and I would sell full scale drawings to people. And then I said, you know what? Let me do a pattern of the month club, which I started that later on. It was in the 90s, around 97. And I charged $18 for a lifetime membership. So every month you would get 6 patterns from me, and I would mail them out. Physical, mail on paper. And it was a job. And I did that for about 3 years, and I kind of came to an abrupt ending with it. But people got, for the $18, they really got their money's worth. It was, 60 cents. I had a whole book, 100 pages book of the pattern, so they did get their money's worth. I didn't feel bad about ending that pattern of the month club, but the way that it was funny because we didn't have PayPal and Square and Venmo. We didn't have all that back then. So people would literally send. Well, most of them were checks, $18 check, but they would a lot of people would send me cash in the mail, and I have a one of them file cabinet drawers, 2 drawers full of envelopes. I saved all of them. I saved all the envelopes. And the notes are very endearing at times. I saved everything, and it was really popular. And I used to have it was called SGB Design Studio, and it was my initials kind of jumbled up. I needed a name. I didn't have Down East Stained Glass yet. It was before that, and yeah, the pattern every month I would make 6 patterns, and they were themed by what month it was. Like January would be winter, February would be Valentine's, and it was fun. It was fun. I didn't get burnt out from the patterns. I just I moved on. I went digital, and late 90s and 2000. I don't know, thereabouts. But anyway, yeah, this is Newsbreak for Bones and Bevels. There's another gal that does it. I can't think of her name, but it's prepackaged patterns with the vinyl, and it's all cut, and it's really nice the way it's presented. And she has a subscription where you can get in on the month. Buy it month by month, or what have you. And I saw the pattern. It's very well done. And if you're listening, Bones and Bevels, I apologize. And she's in the UK. I apologize. I don't know your name, but I know of you. And well, I just want to say good luck with your new venture. And she has as well a new she even called it her Pattern Club venture. Well, good luck with it. I really mean that. I hope you do well. Alright. Let's see. You don't need a moderator guy. You have the best behaved subscribers, but I'll stay in the background just to have you back. Look at the arm on you, huh? Aw. I'm wheezing. I still have that chest cold. I was it since December. It's horrible. I think my cat. I think I'm allergic to my cat. Well, peanut butter. I eat a lot of peanut butter. I don't know. I'm on a peanut butter kick. Like, go through a jar of peanut butter in like 3 days. I'm like, what the heck? Let's see. What else? You have another chat. Wow, that would be a lot of work each month. Yeah, 6 patterns a month. Well, yeah, and printing them, sending them, shipping them. It was a lot of work. And then I just said, you know what? I'm gonna get it all together. I made a book. I think it's called the Pattern Club book. But, and then I put it on Amazon, years ago. And they really, this is before the modern digitizing. Like there's a lot of raster, rasterization. You see the blocks, and poor quality image, but it was still a pattern. You could take a piece of tracing paper or trace it on. They still worked fine, but they weren't vector quality. Some were pretty good, but most were pretty ratty looking. They were raster images. But yeah, that's it. Think about doing this whole pattern thing, with Etsy, and I was kind of glad to see folks going back to the physical stuff. I thought about it myself. I was like, I could just start ripping these patterns off in a vinyl plotter and selling them, and I was like, that a lot of people may take me up on that. I was like, yeah, that's going to be a lot of work. I need to hire somebody. And as it is, I do sell some patterns, and I only limit it to a handful, literally 6 or 8 patterns that I offer for sale on cardstock, on Etsy and what have you. Because, when I get those orders, it's like, I got to run the printer, I got to mail them, I got to ship them. It's like, jeez, it's a lot of work. But I don't mind doing it. It's a lot of work. And Alexa, I got my goofy stuff up here. Maybe I can go ahead and move my window up a little bit. I think I can. There we go. Let's squeeze it up so you can see a little bit more of the form. There we go. I think that's better. Let me know if that's better. I think it's better. Alright. It looked like it was chopped off. Alexa was clarifying a question, I guess, answer. Doing a stained glass behind a backdrop. Now, years ago, when I had my stained glassville forum, I had a woman. I have the picture of it. I just have to drag it up. I have to look for it. She did a beautiful piece behind a backsplash, and it was mosaic. So she did this. It looked like stained glass, but it had the grout, and then the sealant, all that stuff. And the reason why I think it was very practical, because it's like the tiles on your countertop. If it gets dirty, you can get a little bit of oven cleaner or whatever. Oven cleaner. You must be some cook, right? Like splashing your backsplash. But it gets greasy, and dirty. You just clean it as you normally would your countertop. So stained glass, it probably wouldn't be a practical thing. And if you covered it with something like a piece of glass, you're going to get like a reflection. And in my opinion, it's my opinion, when you have glass over stained glass, that reflection just kills the whole thing. It's like you take away all the beauty of the stained glass. And so I'm going to go back to chat. Thanks for the addition of the new heart collection. Working on a couple. Oh, okay. You're welcome. Oh, Arthur. Arthur, yeah, Arthur. He grabs a lot of patterns. Yeah, good luck with him, Arthur. I'm not done. I'm right in the middle of doing these alphabets. Somebody asked me to do my alphabet in block lettering and circles. Like, yeah, I could do that. And I was like, the thought. I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll do it. So now I'm up to the letter Q, and I got a little burnt out with it because the Q was not the way I wanted it to be. So when that happens to me, here's the inside stuff. I get into like not a funk, but I actually become trapped in my self, picking on myself. The criticism, self-criticism. And then I said, all right, that's it. You got to take a break. That's how that works. But I'm ready to go back to it. I just needed to walk away for a minute and then go back, because once I do that, I don't want to settle for something I'm not happy with, if that makes sense. And I know there's a lot I could do a lot better with it. So anyway, back to Alexa's backsplash. Yeah, she did it with grout. It was a sanded grout and it had a sealer. You can get grout with polymers in it that will not absorb, say, grease and oils and dirt as much as, say, a unsanded or a plain grout with no sealer on it. And some of the sealers will kind of mess up the glass. It'll give it like a undesirable coating on the glass. So it probably shine out nice. It's just, you just use a polymer grout and stained glass, and you glue the glass down. You use like a PL Premium or liquid nails, and you glue it down to a board, a backing, and then you grout it. And you could frame it. You could put you could actually use real tile, like a bullnose tile, and edge it. Probably come out really pretty. Let's see. Need to check out patterns. Yeah, I offer the pattern. See, I offer different levels. I offer the book, which is really nice. Then I offer the full PDF files, which include the numbered and unnumbered, and different size and options. So you get the full PDF. There's a lot more you can do with the PDF. That I do offer that on Etsy, and I also offer it on my own server. The Valentine's book, the stained glass book of love, that's only in the book manuscript. So basically, it's a PDF file with 67 pages that the book was printed from, and that I have now on my server. I don't have the actual all the PDF files broken down and on my server or on Etsy. I didn't get to that. I want to, but I'm all those patterns are available separately on Etsy. I'm in the process of putting a package deal together, and the problem is if you start doing that too much, people become disenfranchised by spending money on patterns you already sold them. So you got to be careful with that. And I'm not going to charge, say 60 patterns at $2 a piece. I'm not going to charge $120 for a PDF download of all the patterns. Etsy, you can't even do it on Etsy. The file's too big, so you have to zip it up, compress the file, and sell it that way. On my server, I can actually offer to sell the whole package, the PDF package, because my server is unlimited. And I've got permission. I could do whatever I want. And my software I use, there's no way around it. If somebody's going to handle your payment gateway, like say PayPal or another person, Square or what have you, they're going to pay a processing commission. The 3 to 4% of the sale goes to them, and there's no way around that. I'm not physically swiping someone's card, whether it's PayPal or what have you. Etsy and they take that percentage, and it's closer to 4%, and then they charge to relist. They charge a percentage of the sale. They advertise for you. Even if you don't want it, you're forced to accept their advertising. And then they charge you for it, which honestly, that's a really corrupt way of doing things. I don't understand how they get away with it, but they do that. And I'm not going to badmouth Etsy. I've been a long time merchant on Etsy, but they do that. They get a cut. They get a cut every time you sell something. They take a cut, and they take a cut every time you now have to put that pattern back up. It's automatic in my case, so they take a cut out of that. So by the time you're done selling a pattern for $2 from Etsy, you're only making about 25 cents. And that's real hard, ugly truth of it. So that's why you see people, charging $6 a pattern, so at least they get something out of it, and absorb all those Etsy fees. But the higher you charge for something, the more Etsy takes as well. It's like eBay. eBay's out of control. They take a high percentage of all the sales, and you look at eBay, and they're owned by PayPal and this one and that. These folks are multi-billionaires, and they take advantage of people selling things on a yard sale level. It's kind of sad when you think about it. But yeah. Oh, and then Nancy got her afterburner. Well, good for you. I'm glad you got it today. I was hoping you would get it. And your book should be there tomorrow or thereafter. I sent her a Christmas book too. You're going to like that one. That's a really cute book. And it's signed. I signed that one. I had a giveaway a couple of weeks ago. I can't, if I'm giving away stuff, and I try to reach out. I say, hey, I got this. Poor woman. I gave away a Humminbird glass cutter. It's $50 glass cutter, and I waited and waited. It probably 2 months went by. So I kept pinging her and say, hey, I got your cutter. Hope she didn't think I was a freak or something. I mean, that's probably what it was. I said, you know what? I can't hold on. I gave it away to someone else, and they immediately got back to me and said, yeah, here I am. Here's, they emailed me, send it here. And that's how I got to do it. I can't hold on to stuff. I mean, after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, hold on to something. Trying to get in touch with people, that's the downside of YouTube. You can't contact anybody directly unless it's through the YouTube server. I can't say, to Nancy, click and send you an email. It's just not going to happen. I can't do that on YouTube. I could ping you in messages or this and that, but that's one thing about YouTube I'm not crazy about. But you know what? I guess in the big picture, it protects people, influencers, people that do the video stuff. I'm out in the office. I say, you want me? Here I am. I leave my phone number, my email. I don't expect people to come target me for anything like that. And I have a very large public footprint. You can look me up. And I had a problem with another group. Not a problem, but and see, I'm going along. I start talking about stuff. You do all that in a chat group or Facebook. You can't do it. So this is really important about YouTube. I run another channel for coin collecting and stuff, and I gave away coins to somebody. I said, here's my email, and I wrote it in on YouTube. I said, reach out, send me an email, and I'll, with your shipping, don't put it in the chat here. Same deal with stained glass. I said, don't put it. So I got the email, with the address and everything, and I was like looking at it. I go, that's not the guy. It's the wrong. His name started with a B, and the person that sent me the email started with a C. I'm like, wait a minute, because I publicly put my email out. So now somebody just grabs the email, sends it to me, and says, oh yeah, here's my shipping address, claiming to be the winner. So I caught that, and it turned out the guy was legit. So it wasn't like he was trying to pull a funny one, but I reached out, and the way I did it, I said, tell me, the timestamp of that email. Let me know the actual, because you look in your email, when you send somebody email, it'll say like 227 exactly. You know, it's not, there's no vagueness there. It's the actual timestamp. I said, tell me, you know, let me know on YouTube. I said, tell me the timestamp, and I'll verify that that's you, because it's the names don't match. So he sent me. He goes, he sent me the city that he put in the shipping. I said, well, that's nobody can figure that out unless they know the other person. I said, you know what? He sent me the city. I said, okay, that's good, and that verified that he was who he said he was, and I sent out his coins today, and I do that too. I collect coins that go through. You know, when you get a die with a bunch of coins, I mean, my kids, you know, they got a bunch too, and and I have fun. I do videos, you know, live things of looking through coins. It's like a hobby of mine, so I do that too. I do the stained glass. I do that, and anyway, that's the problem with YouTube. I can't just, you know, click on somebody's name. I don't know if you could see me highlight that. You know, like Arthur, I can't just click on his name and pull up an email address. I could click his name and send him a message, you know, but it'll be out in the open. It'll be, you know, it's not a private message. So, but my message, I'll leave my email in a message, say, email me your shipping address, and then I may come back and say, can you verify the zip code or verify the timestamp of the email? Just because if your name, I know if Arthur sends me an email, it's probably going to say Arthur on it, you know, his email address. Well, that was the case with the other one. It was so far off, the names weren't even close. So that's why that happened. Anyway, back to the forum. Yeah, and the backsplash. You know, look at doing. I mean, I could answer this in the group. Look at doing, you know, gluing down glass using opaque glass and gluing it down with liquid nails or a PL Premium, which is a really strong adhesive for glass, and it's made for everything. You get PL Premium on the bottom of your shoe, it's not coming off. And, you know, it's a construction adhesive. And you just put a little dab down and you squish the glass in it, let it set up 24 hours, whatever, and then grout the whole thing. You know, make sure you don't have any sharp edges. And it comes out beautiful. And that's why I used to make stepping stones years ago. And we used to buy the pre-cast stepping stones, you know, pavers, you know, say octagon or a round. And buy the pavers like a couple of dollars, $3 or $4. It's cheaper to do that. You buy the paver, then try to make your own, which I made my own too with the forms. But once you have the paver, you just glue your glass down on the paver, and you grout it. You put the polymer. You got to get the grout with the polymer in it. It reinforces the strength of the grout, makes it a lot stronger, and then if you're using it outside, you just seal it. Use a grout sealer for outdoor, or a cement sealer. And it's basically the same thing. And I found that the sanded grout works better for glass because the unsanded will tend to chip and crack away easier. So that's just from doing and being familiar with that. See, my live chats get boring. Okay. No, but I'm going from a backsplash to a paver. What's the correct grout to use, and what's the correct adhesive to use, and a shortcut. Buying pre-made pavers. And I don't know if other people do that. You just, you know, you go to your local garden shop and they got the pavers. They're $2, $3, and you know you buy them. You glue your pieces down. You know. Get creative and grout it and call it a day. You know, seal it and I mean, you can. The other way of doing it with the stepping stone molds, and you got to mix the concrete and this and that, and it's too time consuming. And they put the glass down and pour the concrete on it, so the glass is embedded in the concrete, and you try to take it out of the form, and the glass falls out or cracks, or it's crumbling, and that's just it's crazy. You're better off taking the glass, gluing it down, and I would strongly recommend PL Premium, like Paul Larry Premium, and clear. You don't get you don't use the color. You may see the dot or whatever, or clear liquid nails. It's very similar, and just glue. And you got a time to move your glass around if you have to. Put it on the stone, and then let it set. Overnight, and come back the next day and grout it with a sanded grout, not a heavy sand, a light sanded grout, and then you could pick up your color that way too. You can get like they got different tones like bone or brown or gray, and you can really do a lot, and you're not limited to buying the cement already colored in a form, and it's just a mess. And I showed one person how to do that. I mean, and my studio days, I used to sell their pavers, their stepping stone, and they made a killing. They like laugh all the way to the bank. $75, $80, $100 for a stepping stone. It's like, hey, it only cost me $2 for that paver, and the grout was really cheap, and the glass, and they're like, I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. And they were beautiful. They last. I made my wife one of a heart, for her, one of her little animals, a rabbit that passed. And I do have that it's on my Etsy page. It's the heart stepping stone. So you could buy pavers shaped in a heart. Well, actually use the heart form that they sell, and just put the thin set concrete in it. You don't have to go with anything special. You get a bag, an 80, 90 pound bag of thin set. They use it for floor leveling and all that. It's really very fine sand concrete. It's not like Portland cement. It's called thin set. And you make your own form, let that cure, and then put the glass on it, and then grout it. It comes out really nice. Yes. Hello, your video is very helpful to me. I try to cover all the bases. Let's see, oh, that's like I'm sorry, I can't really read that. I think that's like a, it's like odd lettering, maybe Asian of some sort. But yeah, welcome, and I try my best. My videos, my YouTubing is targeted at content. It's content targeted. You won't see me, and I'm not saying this to pick on other YouTubers. I don't want to get accused of doing that, but they will accuse me. I'm not going to just cut the same way every week, the same glass, and this is a yellow glass, and this is a green glass. No, you're going to get every bit of information, and I'm not even done. I'm not even close to being done with the stuff I can share. So just my knowledge, something I never even thought of, talking about stepping stones. But here we are talking about a backsplash of a kitchen, which brought up the stepping stone conversation. And I personally have witnessed, well, on one of my stained glass forums, it was called Stained Glassville years ago. The woman did the backsplash. It was beautiful. It was Art Nouveau style, with flowers. I have the picture. Actually, I saw it not long ago. I had to dig in my files. Really beautifully done, and I really liked it. So, don't try to do stained glass and cover it with glass, and that goes for when you see people that put glass in insulated glass. I mean, I think that's like taking a Maserati and painting it with a paintbrush and water-based paint. You just don't do it. It's like putting salt in gourmet ice cream. Well, yeah, I guess you could do that. You don't put stained glass behind glass like that. It's different if it's a church, you have exterior glazing, and the windows are on the inside. You want to see the beauty of the stained glass. You want to see the bending of the light of the glass. You want to see the edging of the copper, the lead or the solder, the stained glass, when you catch, light, natural light on it, you want to see that bending of that light. That makes the stained glass beautiful. It's not just the colors and the cartoon. It's the surface texture of the stained glass. You will never see me insulate stained glass. It's not that you can't. We used to do it all the time. People insist on it. But in the real world, insulated glass fogs up in 20 years anyway, so you're going to ruin your stained glass. I always installed stained glass on the inside of anything, whether it's insulated glass, and I could actually do a whole video on installing stained glass and the special zinc that you need. It's like an off-heart, it's flat on one side, the full, it's like 5/8, 3/4 of an inch. And it looks, if you look at the profile, it looks like a little H, like a lowercase h. It's got a long backing and a little hook, like a U channel. And that long backing slips under those plastic moldings on insulated door units and windows. And it's so easy to do. It's almost criminally easy to do. And you don't have to buy new glass. You don't have to do this. No caulking. Everything is just made to size. Put it in. Hold it down. I use mastic, which is it's a glass adhesive. It's like looks like an eraser. And it's very sticky. So when you put the mastic down, you just squish the stained glass, and not all over the whole. You just in key areas to hold it there. So when you're putting the frame back up with the screws in it, it's not going to slip down and fall. And that little U channel area of the zinc actually comes out beyond the frame, and the frame locks that in. So it's locked in. But as well, it's also good because it vents the window. The window is allowed to vent, and the window will retain the inside temperature of the house. So it's not going to be like a sweating issue. It's not like if you're going to seal it with the silicone. And it comes out beautifully. Like I said, I could do a half-hour video on it. I wish I had the zinc. I've made quite a few of these things, and that goes for ovals as well. I have the cane bender, and it works out really well. So never, you want to insulate your glass, put it in insulated glass. It's on you, but you're going to get that reflection. You look at it from the inside of the house, you're going to see that reflection. You're going to see your lamp behind you in your stained glass. But you do it without the insulated glass, on top of the insulated glass, or 1/4 inch plate, or 1/4 inch lamy. Indoors it has to be safety glass, 1/4 inch, which I've done that too. I've taken out the insulated, if it was a wood frame, put 1/4 inch laminated glass in. A spacer, they use to call it sus film. It's like a foam spacer. You put it down, over the plate glass, which is now sealed on the outside. That sus fill will allow enough space between the stained glass and the other glass. I'm talking 1/8 of an inch, but without a direct contact that would permeate temperature from outside to inside. And it's a thermal break. And the beauty of that is your stained glass will not get cold, because people think they have to have insulated glass, which is not true. If you put a thermal break with the sus fill, and you put the stained glass against the other glass, it's almost like it's tapping it very gently, and then you seal it on the inside with wood trim. These are for wood glazed windows, and shimming the stained glass on the bottom, and on the top you make sure you have that air flow. It's a perfect installation. And even with the 1/4 inch, whether it's laminated glass or plate glass, you have tempered glass in the door. A laminated glass works really well because it's actually plastic between the glass, which also helps for insulating. Not much. It's not going to be like it's not going to be like it's not going to be like thermopane, insulated glass, but the plastic does give a thermal break right there, in conjunction with the sus fill and the leaded glass, and the leaded glass on the inside will will regulate to the inside temperature of the house. It will not get cold. I mean, it could be cooler, but it's not going to be ice cold what people think. I had this discussion years ago, actually on stained glass fill with people. Oh no, you gotta have insulated glass. I said, no, I'm telling you, you gotta make layered glass with stained glass, sus fill, and then a wood trim. You're gonna. I wish I had my temperature. I didn't have a laser to measure the temperature like today. You have lasers. I would go right up to the stained glass, and whether it's behind insulated glass or non-insulated glass, and there would be no difference. I believe that 110%, because the stained glass, the lead in the glass itself, will actually pick up the temperature of the room on the inside, and actually regulate that thermal, the absorption of a thermal break. So if it gets warm, it's going to stay warm. It's not going to get colder. And you also, it's not sitting directly against the glass. It's really close, but it also has that slight thermal break, and would be better than using insulated glass. Because insulated glass with stained glass inside will, I'm not saying it may, it will fog up. It does, just the nature of the lead and the material of glass, the cement and all that, you're encapsulating a time bomb of a disaster. So you're going to get the oxidation, you're going to get this and that. Put the stained glass on the inside where you can feel the lines. You can see the bends, and honestly, the fact that stained glass is not encapsulated in insulated glass is 9 times as more valuable, is 90% more valuable than if it was an insulated glass, in my opinion, because I love the look of stained glass in a window. You could feel the textures and stuff. It also allows you to put reinforcement bars. That's just another thing. So pavers. Yeah, scrap. You could make pavers. I'm answering Maryland. Yeah, you could just take all your scrap and start making a hodgepodge. Just throw it in a box, shake it around. Nope. Don't even look at the color. Just put it down. Let the kids, give the kids some nice gloves and just have them play with it. And they have the liquid nails comes in a very handy squeezable tube. That's easy. You don't need a caulking gun. And then you just make it a craft day for the kids. They would love it. Maryland, yeah, scrap glass, no doubt. And people. Honestly, you could probably walk on this stuff. I mean, you could. I wouldn't recommend it in case they get wet and you slip and crack your head on something. But pavers are meant to just kind of be there. Like I think the idea of using, it's kind of more, well, not more, the gravestone marker for pets. And where you bury your pet in the yard. You put the grave marker on it. With, what have you. You can even put the name of the pet, all that stuff. But you'll never, lose where you buried your pet. And most people wouldn't put a plant over or something. Yeah, but yeah, you totally 100% put them outside. If you use the right grout. If you use the right sealer. And then maintenance, maybe every couple of years you just put another layer of sealer on it. You probably don't. I mean, I did mine, 35 years ago. I never resealed it, and it's still holding up intact, not a problem. And the people say, oh, I'm in the winter, I live in a cold area. Doesn't it crack the glass? No, it doesn't. The thing is, with the thermal expansion of glass, it would be consistent. In the sun, you have a little bit more issue. If direct sun was on it, beaten down, but even in that case, everything would heat up consistently. And most likely would not crack. I wouldn't put them in direct sun. But the cold, no. It's not. You're not going to go from 80 degrees outside to 10 below in 3 minutes. If that was the case, if your weather's like that, no, don't use pavers. If you have a drastic temperature change like that, anything in that environment, you put a bottle outside, it will crack from that thermal change. But no, using pavers in the winter, colder climates, it's not an issue because it doesn't get cold immediately. It's gradual. It's like it acclimates to it. So there's a lot of people talk about, I'm afraid of using it because I got harsh winters. It gets to 10 below. I wouldn't worry about it. Worry about it. Do I have to take them in? No, leave them out. I don't see a problem. I don't. If it's done, like I said, if it's a dramatic shock in temperature difference, you're gonna have an issue. Don't whatever. Don't do sudden temperature shifts. All right. See, I start talking about a backsplash. Next thing you know, I'm talking about winters in North Dakota. Right? How does that happen? I hope I'm giving you guys. I've got a lot of experience with glass, and I've done a lot of things, and I try to share as much as I can. And like I say a lot of times, there's so much I haven't talked about. And most of the stuff I talk about is based on common sense. There's no mystery to it. There's a lot of things that I dig really deep into on a personal level, with the way I approach making stained glass, which I want to share that too. And there's people, that are really good at painting. Like Kathy, she makes those barbershop globe things. I know how she makes them, but she's got this meticulous technique of putting these things together. And how she gets her arm in there to solder it, that's when I'm like, okay, hands are out and I'm bowing to the queen here. Oh yeah, thanks Nancy. Yeah, I'm okay. I really, I don't like saying, hey, thumbs up, subscribe. But it's kind of like you have to sometimes. But I get my subscribers, and I just found out a dirty little secret. I found out. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but there's actually, and I found this out kind of through the grapevine. Not accusing anybody of doing it, but there are actual AI bots out there that will like and subscribe your videos, giving you all these fake thumbs up and subscribers, and say, oh, look at me, I got 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, but your videos have no content. How did you do that? Well, it turns out, and I'm not accusing anybody. If it's not, I mean, YouTube claims that they have ways of checking that, but I see some activity. I'm like, you got 10 million likes on a video overnight. How did that happen? I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I think some of that's going on. Not everywhere. Some people, they got and I'm not no comparison. You got beautiful women with long nails, with very charismatic voice, and a cute way of doing things. They're getting all the men to watch it because they're like, oh, this, I'm watching it, this, and they got all the hits, or that really good-looking dude, from England who paints glass, Hunt, right? He's got that salt and pepper look. And all the women, they go crazy over this guy and his accent. That's not me. I'm not eye candy for anybody. Trust me. Yeah, but they also get the likes and the subscriptions and all that because of that. And I hope all my likes and subscriptions are because of my content. That's really important to me. All right. And so Charles is new to the group. He's looking for something 34 by 18 or 24 by 18. Well, this is something that kind of irks me. It's I don't know if this is 34 inches high and 18 wide, or how this is worded, but I'm assuming the W is next to the 18. So that means it's 34 high by 18 wide. And that's what I'm thinking. However, whenever you, and this, I want to make this clear to anybody who does stained glass windows, doors, whatever you do, if you're even measuring windows and doors, it's always the width first. It's like it's a rule of thumb. It's like you do not say, I want a transom window that's 10 by 60. I say, well, that's a side light because it's 10 wide by 60 tall. Oh, no, 10 high by 60 wide. I go, then it's 60 by 10. Well, no, it's the height first. No. And then they had the argument. And I was an architect. I did 3 years of high school grade architect drafting when I was younger. And it was like you would get suspended if you wrote down the height first. Because in building, anything you would building, like a door, you got a door, it's 3068. 3 foot wide by 6 foot 8 tall. That's the way you do it. A window, 24 by 42. A 20310. It's just the way you do it. And in anything related to construction-wise, it's always the width first times the height. If you do it the other way around, you're looking for trouble. And it's not a matter of being ignorant. It's a matter of just not accepting that that's the way you do it. And some people just don't do it. They say, no, because they think about, like, I even say, like paintings, paintings 10 inches wide but 20 inches tall. They go, oh, that's 20 by 10. But then I'd say, oh, I got an argument. What about paper? It's 8.5 by 11, right? And that's portrait. It's not landscape. Portrait's the standard, because most people have the paper standing straight up and down for letters and this and that. So portrait's the standard, so it's 8.5 by 11. Oh, there you go. There's the argument. It's out the window. And they don't argue no more. So, anyway. So whenever, this is for, I'm not picking on you. Charles, please. And this just irks me because it's like, all right, you want 34 by 18. It's probably 34 tall. But please, if it's 18 by 34, right, 18 by 34, okay? Please. I'm begging. I know it sounds trivial of me to say that, but it's something that goes on too much, too often. And we're all doing stained glass windows. You got to get the measurements down right. It's width times height. Width times height. And it's a custom made or a pattern. I'm saying that constructively. I hope I'm helping you. And then, let's see, we got Molly. I'm not going to go, I was only going to go an hour on the forum. And then, oh wait, you guys didn't give me a time to give away memberships. Well, guess what? I got to do Engage with my audience. Oh, it's asking me to engage? Alright, let me see. Start. Oh, they want me to do. I don't want to do a members only live stream. I see that. I said, hey, you ain't getting that from me. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to give away 5 more memberships to my member only access area of YouTube. This will include the cloud. All the files in the cloud. The rights to use them commercially, privately, however you want, as long as you don't sell the pattern. That's all I ask. You just don't sell my patterns. You could make as many things you want. You could give them away. You could sell them on Amazon. You know, more power to you. And that goes for my Etsy. That goes for everything I do. I have, when I say full crafter's rights, that is exactly what I mean. You have full rights to do with what you made out of glass. My pattern's only 5% of the picture. Your glass, you cutting it, you're sweating, blood, sweat, and tears went into it. Your creativity created that piece. That's your crafter rights. So you want to sell it? You want to sell that piece in a craft show, on eBay, on Etsy, on Amazon, or whatever? Give it away. You have full rights to do that. Any of my patterns. The only stipulation I have is you don't sell the pattern as a pattern. I had to say that. But here we go. I'm going to click the thing, and I don't know how you guys get these. Let me know. I'm going to click it. If it just shows up, like grab it, free for all, just let me know. I don't know how this works, but I want to give away memberships. So I'm going to do that right now. Send membership. There you go. I have 5 left to send, and here we go. I'm going to click to send. So get ready. If you're sitting on the sideline and you see it pop up, click on it and grab it. Okay. If you're not a member already, I don't think you can't use 2 memberships. I don't think you can. It doesn't add a month. I don't know. So I'm going to click in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Clicked. Let's see. I'm going to watch. Annette McLean. And read that. Oh, Annette McLean received 1. Tina. Say that. Tina J. There's Tina J. I can't see. My eyes are blurry from doing those patterns. And then Alicia Rodriguez. We see. Okay, so 3. There's 2 more left. I think you guys saw this and are snatching them as you see them. I hope that's the case, because I really want to reward people for coming, watching my live stream. I got current views 5. No, I got viewers here, so maybe that's the case. But there you go. There's 5 more memberships. Use them. If you download the patterns, you got a friend that says, "Ooh, I want that." Have at it. Please share. All right. I'm not saying you can't do that. I even say very clearly, if you're a teacher, if you're an instructor, and you've got 8 students and they all want patterns, and you are a member of my pattern club or Etsy, this and that, or in here, run them off on the copy machine. I'm not going to hold you to say, "Oh no, you gotta buy a pattern." I would never do that. All right, I would never do that, and that's the truth. Let's see. Let's see. Oh wait, look, Molly. You were talking about stepping stones, right? Is that what this is, right? It looks like it. Looks like a free form with the palm tree. Let's see. Molly, add orange to the red. Which moon? Oh, okay. Well, I, I hate to be critical or whatever, but if it's a moon, you should have a darker sky. That's just my observation. I see a sun as well. I think other people have said that. I saw this post earlier, and I like all of them. I can't really choose one or the other. The orange one probably I'm leaning to the most because it's unique in color, and you have the orange sky below, so there's less contrast there. So that's my take on it. Let's see, anyone else? Hey, go on. I gave the membership. Your ear candy. Is that me? I'm ear candy. Well, you know what? That's what I wanted someone to call me. Because if I can have a one-on-one conversation and have people listen in on the live chat, live video, I think that would open the doors to some really good content. Because just like cruising the content on Facebook, it triggers a thought or a memory of mine of doing glass, and then I go into that, talking about it. So if I had someone on the phone asking me a question, I say, "Oh, ask me about this," and then it leads into a whole new area of discussion. And again, that's just gonna give my channel better content. Hope that made sense. Let's see, 3 people. Okay. Well, there's 2 more memberships out there. Grab them if you're not a member already. And if you got a friend or somebody who does stained glass and they're not aware of my YouTube channel, say, hey, this guy's giving. Once you become a member and you see what's in my cloud, I'm not joking. I would say over $200 worth of patterns there. I got the full book in there. I full two or three books in there alone. I got tons of patterns, and so enjoy. I back to the stepping stone or the paver. I like the orange the best. She has prefer the yellow. Yeah, and if it was the moon, it's okay that it's the moon, but I would go with the darker sky and maybe more of a shimmery green water, and you don't have to go full shadow, but there's something leaning more toward darker shades, and never ever, this brings up a really good subject about color, and a lot of people that don't consider gray a color. They almost like avoid it like the plague. I used gray so I don't say all the time, but enough. I use shades of charcoal, of textured gray like a pewter, in conjunction with teal greens, rose. The gray, though it's not technically a color, it's just a shade of black, is such a great glass color. I'm going to call it a color. It's a color gray. It's such a great glass choice if you do it right. And a little bit of, this is a night with the moon. You can put that splash of a wispy gray in here. A little bit of darker purple or deep blue of some sort. Maybe a little touch of a color at the bottom to show that the moon and the sunset of a reflection of what have you. There's so much you can do if it is a moon. It's pretty. I like it. I like the whole palm tree look, and it's it's nowhere near me. There's mountains in this one. We have palm trees, but everything's flat. I live in the flatlands. Alright. I'm going to do one more post. The main purpose of this video going live was to give away those memberships and to talk about things that I want to do, the the call-ins and this and that. And he said, why is my thing not scrolling? Here we go. For some reason it said, I'm not going to scroll. Looking for a chicken. Yeah, they're looking for that chicken that's peeking in the corner. It's out there. I don't want to hit the comments. I don't want to expose anything there. I mean, I could, but yeah, he's looking for that chicken, the goofy chicken that looks in the window. Well, I hope you find it. And then we're going to end off here with Susan McLaren. I just want to introduce myself. And she used the AI welcome message, which is fine. I don't like it a lot, but it's the phone asks you to do it. I get it, the Facebook app. But she did say more stuff. She added to it. Did this a while ago. We'll take it apart to make a new one. And well, I'm assuming she's gonna make a new frame. That's my guess. Cause I did read this earlier. It was saying that, yeah, Larry, I think you're right. It's I think she's taking it apart because it's falling apart. It's not very strong. And it could be a pine frame with a cheap rabbit on it, or not too strong. If you do it out of oak or ash or some kind of other hardwood, it'd be a lot nicer. Maybe a heavier wood too. I think that's what she's doing. But that is really nice. I like the simplicity of the the design. So good luck. Yeah, everybody does oak. So you look into even not a lot of people use teak, but it's really hardwood. But if you get like a walnut or ash, and use a dark mahogany stain on ash, it would be so beautiful for this piece. Even a dark walnut or Jacobin on oak would work well. And just to give it something different, just to get away from that natural wood look. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think you need some kind of bold edging, dark edging, and work with the wood grain. Make up something really nice. And that's it. I think I'm going to end there, guys. I went long. I wanted to keep this one about an hour. We're in it an hour and 28 minutes. That's long enough. I did my announcements and a little bit of forum chat. And before I end, I want to mention our sponsor. Our sponsor for the day is me. I don't have a sponsor, so there you go. If you didn't get my book yet, I got a link in the chat, and there's going to be a link below the video. I just got my book today. It's perfect timing. I give the double thumbs up. It's a really good book. There's a lot of great Valentine's patterns in it. You could get it. My book is available on Amazon or my publisher, which is exclusive for the coil-bound version. That opens up a full 180 flat. Or you could flip the page around, which is really nice. It retails in the low 30s. It's really worth it. The book's well made. And the Amazon version is the perfect bound, they call it. You could still open the pages, scan the pages with your phone, and print them up. I do have a video on how to do that. It's simply take your phone, open up your Notes app. It's that little yellow, looks like a note on your phone, on your iPhone, and click that. And in that app, you click on, scan a document. And then what you do is you put your phone over the page of the book, and your phone will start doing its magic. And it start cropping, auto-cropping, and you hold it as straight as you can. and then snap. It takes the picture and does a perfect scan of the pattern and puts it on your phone as a, I think it's a PDF. Could be wrong. I think it's, or it could be a JPEG. And then what you can do is just take that and print it. Just hit print on your phone and sync to a wireless printer, or bring it to the print shop or the library and just print it. You could crop it, import it into a drawing application you have, or do it that way. And yeah, the same thing. The deal with the book is you have full crafter's rights. It's not going to limit you in any way. And if you already bought my book, they're very popular right now, and a lot of people are picking them up. I hope you make some really pretty things and share it on the Facebook group, or here in the community pages on my YouTube. If you head over to my community pages, and I put a link in the chat. It's above. It's near the top. You just go to the community, and you could post images. You could put links. You could do a lot of things, a lot more than you can do on the video itself. Very similar like Facebook. You could do a lot. Nice pictures up there. If anything gets out of control, I could take it down, but I could moderate that. But you guys are honorable. Most people are in Glass. And you can shock me with some kind of pictures. I doubt it. You can't shock me. Just kidding. Yeah, so use the community pages for that. And if you're a first-time visitor to my channel, thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications and the thumbs up. You're going to get notified on your phone. I like that little thing that pops down. Hey, Gary's got a new video up. It'll tell you. And if you don't like my stuff, unsubscribe. And if you start getting bored, like right now, you're probably bored to tears. This video went too long, and you can just turn it off. But at least you'll be aware of any new videos. And I believe they also give you a little summary of what the video is. So if it's something you're interested, you say, you can watch it. If not, you just don't click on it. Right? And thanks for coming in. Thanks for everybody for your comments, your suggestions, and your support. It means, really, it does mean the world to me. I just want to say thank you, and thank you for. Oh, you got it. Okay, good. I'm reading the chat. TNet. Okay, you got the membership. Good. I hope you use it well, and that's good for a month. Take all the download. You could just go to the folder, download the whole thing if you want in one shot. My server is that powerful. Or you can actually go to the cloud and click on the patterns. Each one you can print right from the cloud. It has a print option. You can also browse stuff. My cloud is not just a file storage place. It's got a lot of stuff there, and then you can pick and choose what you want to download. But if you're gonna stick around your membership, that's great. But if you're not, just download everything. Just hit the down. You'll see the download link on the top. I think it's a little arrow with it facing down, and then you be sure to get everything. And thanks for joining us in our video today, Tina. Eyes are blurry. I think it says Tina P. Okay, Tina. I'm going to say Tina. Thank you for visiting. Everybody else, have a nice day, and we'll see you on the next go-round. Let me just show you my clothes. That's my clothes. And I'm going to give it a second for these videos to pop up. I hate when I cut it off too quick. But this is Gary. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.